Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of Allah who has given us life to whom we turn back. This is Mohammad Naeem. I'm doing my presentation for the major assignment for the speaking large classes using Zoom to teach students. For this speaking activity, the main tool that I'm using is Zoom. I'm using Zoom because most of the students here have access to it. It is easy to use in similar to in-person classes. So, for example, I can divide students into breakout room and it can be like in real classrooms. In addition to that, students can share their presentation and moreover, they can learn collaboratively. So in the group, they can share the ideas and then in the breakout room, they can also share the ideas. The instruction for this teaching classes before the Zoom online class discussion, students need to learn some expression that they are going to work on later on for the language that they will practice. For example, if they need the speakers to repeat something for them, so they can say, pardon, excuse me, could you please repeat that? Would you mind repeating your question? If the speaker is talking too quickly, and then they can also use these two sentences and they can learn them. I'm sorry, could you please speak a little more slowly? Or would you mind speaking more slowly? I couldn't quite follow you what you said. In another situation, if the speaker is talking too softly, sorry, I didn't hear what you said. Would you mind speaking a little more louder? Or if do not understand the speaker, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure I understand. Sorry, but I do not understand what you mean. I'm not sure I follow you. So they are practicing these languages and they learn these languages. Uh, Later on in the discussion, they will practice using these languages. Moreover, I will give them a list of ideas in the next slide. I will show that and then they will ask question about that. So yeah, based on their own understanding. I will assign rules. For example, one should be the presenter, another one should be timekeeper, one should be the writer, and one should be the summarizer. So during the discussion, they can share their ideas, and the main focus is on the fluency, so everyone will be given equal chance. And finally, after they share in the class, so the feedback will be given to them. The speaking activity main title is getting acquainted and making introduction. Classes via Zoom and student ask questions. The main tools that I'm going to use is the uglush.com. So focuses on fluency. The question that they are going to search on or the topic that they are going to search on or on uglush.com is name, nationality, family, education, English studies, place live, travel, future plan, and free time activities. So if they do not have any ideas related to these points, they have to search in English and they will get a real example of that in a native accent or in a native context. So then they can just think and create another question which can be somehow similar to the way they want to ask their friends. So when this progression is done, then I will just give them, assign them some homework. And the homework is going to be focused on presentation. So they have to prepare a presentation based on the question that are asked from the other classmates related to the education name, first name, last name, second name, or any topic that is here, family, education, English studies, place live. For example, what is your name? What is your nationality? How many people are there in your family? So then they need to get together the information and then they present that later on. So they can record the presentation and share it. Second, they practice the language that I have already mentioned that in my slide. So for example, if they need someone to repeat for them, how can they say? If they need to slow down, how they can say? If need to speak a little louder, or if they do not understand, or if you need more help, so how they can say that? The learning outcomes of this activities, the questions, creating skills, so they just have ideas or words, then they go to english.com and having an idea, and then they putting that into their own words and changing into questions. And critical thinking skills, so they have to use their thinking and then develop the questions. Language improvements, That is the structure if they do not know or they want someone to speak a little more louder or slowly. So group working skills in the group, they have different rules. They have to work on their team working skills as well because they have an objective at the end of the group discussion to achieve that. Self-learning, later on, they have to put their answers that they receive during their interview into a presentation and present it in feedback they give to each other, and also I'll give them feedbacks. So at the end of the day, they would be able to use technology as well as like their thinking skills to be productive students. This was the presentation. I hope it will be clear for you all, guys.